Hello everyone, Teacher Thomas Thailand here in beautiful Nakhon Thailand. I hope you are all doing very well. If you don't know my channel, I'm an American, obviously you can see, and I've been living in Thailand for 4 years now as a long-stay expat. I'm married to a Thai lady, so the requirements that I need to make for my long-stay visa are based on marriage. Now, a lot of people stay in the kingdom as a retired expat, and the requirements for the retirement extension visa, which you have to do every year, are different than what they are for the marriage visa. So, what I want to talk to you about today is the biggest news in Thailand among the expat community and all of the talk, because we are a large community here and we all talk to each other, and many of us have YouTube channels as well. But the big news is that a lot of expats are exiting. So what I wanted to do first is give you a poll that was taken on Thai Visa, which is a website that many of us use to get updates on legal requirements and new regulations that are issued. So Thai Visa is a very popular forum for all of us expats to comment and read articles there. So this comes from Thai Visa website, and it's dated back in late February of this year. So, it's 2 or 3 months old, but the news just keeps growing. The headline news just continues to fester here that all of these expats are exiting Thailand. So let's look back on the survey that was taken by the Thai Visa website. Now, so this survey is unofficial because it's a poll of the people that are actually active on Thai Visa website. I didn't participate in the poll, but a lot of people did, and they can only go by the audience that goes to thaivisa.com. So it's unofficial because it's based on the audience that responded to Thai Visa. So the first question that they were asked is, will the new financial requirements force you to leave Thailand? So these new financial requirements, basically it comes down to 7.9% said yes. So almost 8%, yes, definitely, I have to leave, okay? And then another 23% said it would seriously jeopardize their stay here in Thailand. So if you put those two together, the yes, definitely I'm leaving because I'm forced to leave, and the other one, it seriously jeopardizes my stay here. Put those two together, that's 30%. So 30% of the people in this poll said they will be forced to leave Thailand. So that gives us 70% that said they would not have to leave. Okay, I think this is probably a pretty accurate percentage definition of the expat community here in Thailand. I would say that 70% of the expats that live here in Thailand are legitimate people that have no trouble meeting the requirements for financial proof to extend their visa every year. And not only do they not have a problem doing it, they're also okay and kind of happy that the immigration isn't cracking down on enforcement and get the bad guys out of Thailand. Because what you have to realize is these new requirements are not changes in Thai law. For a long time now in Thai law, at all the immigration offices, there's a big sign that says good guys in, bad guys out. Okay? So the laws haven't changed. If you're on a retirement visa in Thailand, you have to have 65,000 baht per month income to qualify to live here, or 800,000 baht in a Thai bank. That has been the requirement for years for retirement. So what did the new regulations and the new police orders that were issued by Big Joke who I did a video on previously, the former IB, Immigration Bureau Chief of Police, what did his new orders change? Because those two requirements, 65 and 800,000, have always been there. His new order changed the proof that you have to provide to the immigration office that you actually do meet those requirements. Either you can prove that you have 65,000 baht a month coming into Thailand, which means you can't show me some document from your home country or some affidavit or some. They want to see that you have opened a Thai bank account and every month 65,000 baht is being deposited into your Thai bank account. This is 100% proof that you have the income to survive and take care of yourself here in Thailand. But the 65 was always the law. It's just that there's been a lot of fraud in proving. So the enforcement changed to prove that you meet the law requirements. And then on the marriage, it's 40,000 baht per month in a Thai bank account every month. Or if you don't want to prove your monthly income, 400,000 baht in a Thai bank account. Okay, so both of these, most of us 70% that are not going to leave and are not affected and kind of happy that all this is going on because we don't like the misrepresentation that a lot of these expats give all of the community, that we're all here desperate because it's low cost of living and we have no money and we can't afford health insurance and we're just existing here. Because that's not the majority of the expats in Thailand. The majority of the expats in Thailand are very legitimate people contributing to the kingdom in many different ways, whether business or education or culture or whatever. And we do have the means, and we have always had the means and the ability to prove that we have the means to sustain ourselves here. We are never going to ask the taxpayers of the Kingdom of Thailand to float our bill to fly us home when we get in trouble or to take care of our medical needs when we need to go to the hospital, right? So think about that. Think about your home country. You have expats living in your country, immigrants to your country who are not citizens. Would you want to have requirements for those people that they can take care of themselves in every situation? Or do you think it's okay that the citizens of your country that work hard every day and pay taxes float the bill for an immigrant that wants to live in your country? I mean, come on, people. It's common sense. Okay? Now, when you get down to the more clear-cut question they asked, the poll changes a little bit. So they reframe the question. The first question, again, is, will the new financial requirements force you to leave? We have 30, yes, I'm out of here. 70, no, I'm good. Okay? So then they ask a more clear-cut question. It says, asked if the tough new financial requirements for retirement extensions and marriage extensions would force people to leave. So, clear cut, will this force people to leave? Not personally will you leave, but do you think these new tough requirements will force people to leave? 50% said yes. 49 anyway, close. And 49 said yes, it will force people to leave Thailand. 51% said no. Okay, so there you got about half and half. Say, let's just say 50-50. 50-50 say, yeah, I think this is going to force a lot of people to leave. And the other 50 are like, I don't think it's going to make anybody leave that I know, right? I don't think it's going to. So, again, it's an unofficial poll. So, and it's old. It's dated back in February. So I'm not giving you anything that hasn't been out there for a while. But Thai Visa is, like I say, the largest forum for expats to look for legal advice and current regulations. So that's why I wanted to bring that to you. But even though this is a couple months old, the chatter and the news in the expat community is all about this topic. Thousands and thousands of expats are exiting Thailand. I just wanted to give you my perspective here at Teacher Thomas Thailand, because I am pro-Thailand. Why am I pro-Thailand? Well, not because of some pride or zeal, and I don't believe anything negative about Thailand. No, not like that at all. I'm not closed-minded. I'm open-minded to everybody, and I can empathize with people that may have to leave. I don't sympathize with them because it's of their own doing. We all knew what the requirements have been for a long time, and now they're cleaning up the system. They're having a purge of people that cannot meet the existing requirements. That's what's going on. So I don't sympathize with you. I have empathy, and I can relate to your situation. But again, don't blame it on Thailand that you can't, sustain yourself here. I mean, ask yourself a question about your home country. What do you think your government, your immigration bureau should be doing to make sure the expats living in your home country who are not citizens, have not paid taxes all their life, and generations of their family before that paid taxes all of their lives, so that an expat can come there and say, hey, you need to accommodate me. Where's my free stuff, right? What do you mean? I don't need money in one of your banks. I keep my money back home. Right? So think, guys, it's common sense, okay? It's common sense. So I go back to, even though that's 50% said, yeah, they think it's going to make a lot of people leave, and 50% said no on the clear-cut question, I still go back to the first question of, will the new financial requirements force you to leave? So this is directly not what do you think is going to happen to everyone in Thailand, but what about you? 70% said no. Doesn't affect me at all. Well, I'm in that 70%, okay? It doesn't affect me at all. At zero. I mean, so it's what, one more piece of paper, and maybe now they're going to have health insurance requirements? Guess what, guys? I just finished my 4th year consecutively 1-year visa extension based on marriage. I have 400,000 baht in the bank. It's just easy to do that. I don't want to do the whole monthly wire transfer thing. Remember, it's either or. So if you're retired and you don't have 800,000 baht, then you need to show 65,000 every month. But if you're retired and you have $25,000, just put it in a Thai bank, and basically just keep it there, draw minimal interest on it, and that's going to meet the requirement every year. So how did it change for you? It didn't change for you at all, did it? Before, I did use an affidavit from my embassy, to prove my Social Security pension. But once they required the American embassy to verify that that was accurate, and the embassy said, we can't do that, then I understand where Thailand was coming from. Hey, you've got to give us more. You've got to show us more. So rather than take my Social Security statement every year and show them, yes, I'm over the required monthly amount, I had the money, and I'm like, I'll just put the 400,000 baht in the bank. So this is the first year that I did that, but it's not difficult. And so I had to have it in there 3 months before my application. And now that my visa is approved, I'm good till 2020. Just got the stamp 2 days ago, 2020. I'm good again. I started in 2015, so next year it'll be 5 full years, right? So when I go back on my first 90-day report, I have to update my bank book again and show the immigration officer that I still have that 400,000 that I had to have 3 months before. So it's a total of 6 months that I have basically $12,000 sitting there, right? But, I mean, they're forcing me to have a savings account while I'm in Thailand. How is that the end of the world? How is it? So I have to maintain some savings in order to live here. And I'm married to a Thai. So I don't get some special benefit just because I married a Thai citizen. I still have to show that I can sustain myself. And I went ahead and provided a copy of my health insurance this year. Last month when I applied, I went ahead and put it in there because I have it. So that's already updated at headquarters in Chiang Watana. So remember, regardless of your local immigration office in the kingdom, all of your paperwork, that thick file, the reason there's 2 copies, one stays with the local office, the other one goes to Chiang Watana. Chiang Watana is the headquarters of Immigration Bureau. They have the final say on your application, okay? All those documents have to be recorded. Everything's entered into the computer system now, guys, okay? So I went ahead and provided health insurance. If you've got it and you're renewing, why not throw a copy of that in there? even though it's not legally required yet. There's a lot of talk that it will be soon, and it's probable. It's common sense, you know. Okay, so let's say you're retired, you have 25,000 baht in the bank, you meet the 800,000 baht, 25,000 dollars in the bank, you meet the financial requirements, you have no health insurance, and you're 70 years old, and you have a stroke, and you're hospitalized for 3 months in Thailand. You're not able to be flown out. You're not medically transportable. Okay, well that 25 grand is going to be gone real quick, guys. So do you blame the kingdom for saying, in addition to having the 25,000 in a bank, we would like you to have an insurance policy that's going to cover, 2 million baht worth of coverage or something, hospital, emergency, long, admission policy, not regular doctor's appointments, but actual hospital, emergency, and admission coverage, right? Why would you blame them for wanting to implement that? Again, Thailand, in my opinion, has very smart immigration laws. They are protecting their citizens. Their citizens come first. You are the guest here. You will always be a guest here. And if you choose, because no one's forcing anyone to live in Thailand that I know of. I don't think they're bringing people in slave ships or slave planes and saying, hey, expat, you have to live here and you have to do, everything we say. No, I think everyone's here by choice, right? So if you're here by choice, voluntarily came to this country, and you can't meet the requirements that the government is asking you to provide, then get the hell out and go to another country. What's the problem? You're going to rag on Thailand, and you're going to say all this is happening because Thai people are racist and all the immigration officers are racist, and that makes you a bigot because you're spouting stuff you have no idea. Okay, these are laws and regulations by people in high positions that have lots of experience dealing with criminal activity. Okay, this is not some random immigration officer saying you need to leave because I don't like the way you look. I mean, come on, guys. Get a grip, man. Okay? These are laws designed to protect the sovereignty and independence of Thailand and Thai people. Are the priority. It's what every country should do on their immigration policy. But again, remember the poll. 70% of the people said no, they won't have to leave. When they asked about you, is this going to affect you? You're going to have to. 70%. So the 30% that are going to have to leave, I'm sorry, guys, don't take it the wrong way, but the Kingdom of Thailand will be just fine without you. Alright, guys, so let's just wrap up this whole deal. Again, I ask you the question, what would you want for the government to do in your country in regards to requirements for non-citizen immigrants legally living in the country under an expat status? Maybe like in America, they would have a green card or, an extension of stay to their visa, or, there's people there on spousal visas. We have a lot of immigration law in America that is similar to what Thailand is doing, but the problem is we don't enforce our laws. We have so many people that are overstayed on their education visas and everything else that came to America, and we don't have an immigration department that is enforcing the existing law, and some of our laws are terrible. They're just broken. We have people just crossing a huge border with no documents or anything, and you don't know the history, the background, the health, anything. So not only are we not requiring what the law provides in America, that we would want an immigrant to our country to contribute, to sustain themselves, right? We have laws that say all that, but you know how it is with politicians. They don't get anything done. Finally, we have a non-politician who is trying, but he's up against the bureaucracy. So to wrap this up, let's think about when I told you that this is not the local immigration officer. Most of them are non-commissioned, right? Sergeants and under that you're dealing with at the desk, at the counter. It's not those guys making any decision based on how you look, where you're from, being bigoted, racist towards you, and doing something that they're not allowed to do, okay? They don't have that authority. The authority comes from headquarters. That's where your application is approved every year. The local office always waits for the final approval to come from Cheng Watana, either via email or regular mail delivery, that gives the approval or disapproval of your final application for another year. So no matter how many years you've been here in Thailand, you have done this every year, regardless, because we are guests, okay? There is a status called permanent resident status, but I'm not going to go into that here. You're not even eligible until you've done what I've done, and a lot of expats have done, for at least 4 years. Maybe 5, I'm not sure. But so this is the people that all of us are required to every year extend our visa, unless you're on some kind of elite visa, and that requires even a lot more money and a lot more investment in the country if you want like a 5-year elite visa. Okay, so the government also does offer that if you don't want to have to go through a renewal every year. So, you know, the old saying, money talks and bullshit walks, guys. I mean, people have been bullshitting the immigration office as to their ability to sustain themselves and meet the financial requirements that were already in the law. Now you have new people coming in, running IB. We're on our second chief now in the last few months. And I just want to give you some background on him so you understand that even though Big Joke is the one that originally issued these orders that made the changes of proving to the local immigration officer that you definitely have that income. The way you prove that is with a Thai bank account now, either lump sum or monthly. Either way, it's a Thai bank account. Now, I'm sure there's some other countries, Scandinavian stuff, that already had verification of their incomes through their embassies. I don't think any of those people are affected, but there's a large majority of us from the United States, the UK, and Australia here, and I know for sure our embassies wouldn't validate the previously used affidavits for your proof of your monthly income. So those days are over. Thai bank account's the way to go. We've already covered that. So let's think about this guy for a second. Big Joke may have been the one that issued it, but things are not going to change, okay? The mysterious transfer of Big Joke to another inactive position in another department, kind of a cush job, I guess. We don't really know the details about that. A lot of speculation, but no one really knows. We do know about the new guy, okay? And we do know that the laws aren't changing, that the enforcement is still ramping up, and they are coming to visit people's homes with 5 and 6 police officers, immigration, with paddy wagons if they need to take somebody out of here. This is happening, okay? So I don't want to downplay. There has been no change just because we have a new chief now, okay? So where did this chief come from? Well, his name is Lieutenant General Sompong Chingduang. So he doesn't have a nickname like Big Joke. So let's call him Sompong. Fresh from his move from the Border Patrol Police Bureau. This guy is from the Border Patrol Police Bureau. Big Joke came from the Tourist Police Bureau. This guy comes from the Border Police. Anyone that knows anything about Thailand knows that's the most dangerous areas of the country. You know, you can ride solo on a motorcycle across country and you're safe. But if you get near some border regions, you may have some big problems, especially in the south. There's a war going on down there, okay? We've got radical jihadis with IEDs and killing monks and teachers and very, very dangerous areas along the border. That's where this guy comes from, okay? And you think that he's not going to know his way around some enforcement rules? He's going to know what he's doing, all right? So this article is from the Bangkok Post that just introduced the new chief, okay? And in addition to being from the Border Patrol, the newly appointed Immigration Bureau, the IB Commissioner, Lieutenant General Sompong Chingduang, has given assurances that his performance will be up to scratch in his new role. Does that sound like someone that's going to not be ready? No. The former chief of the Border Patrol replaces Big Joke, who was a high-profile crime fighter and then mysteriously transferred. Now, General Sompong insisted that even though his new job is different from his Border Patrol work, he will draw on his experience as an investigator with the Crime Suppression Division to boost the IB's, Immigration Bureau's, efficiency in screening foreign visitors to prevent transnational criminals from sneaking into the country. So this guy is bringing in the biometrics and the retina scans and everything into the airport in Bangkok. I think it was in the works anyway under Big Joke, but this guy's picking up right where he left off. But again, this is a lieutenant general, and for those civilians, you can remember your general ranks by one sentence: be my little general. So B M L G, right? Be my little general. He's a little, which means lieutenant general, which means 3 stars. 3-star general, okay? You don't rise to that position in the Border Patrol Police, okay? The police, Royal Thai Police, are part of the armed forces in Thailand, okay? They all go to the same high school in order to be eligible to go to an academy, a military academy. The police academy is considered a military academy, which is where this gentleman would have graduated from years ago and is now a lieutenant general. Okay, so think of him as a military man, not a policeman. It's not the same. Remember, Thailand is the size of Texas. They're governing what we would call a state here. Much less geography, a lot fewer people, but, you know, hot spots. You know, think of, if Galveston was being invaded by jihadis, okay? We'd have some stuff going on down there, would we not? All right? This guy is where he comes from, is border police, all right? This is huge. So I do want to read a couple more statements from the new general. It says, although I came from the Border Patrol Police, which is a different type of job, the IB already has a well-organized system with foreign and legal affairs divisions and a coordination unit. The new surroundings here should not be a problem for me, he said. Good quote, right? He also told the Bangkok Post that the IB's job mainly involves safeguarding national security and providing assistance to tourists. If we focus too much on security, I'm quoting from the general, I'll start again, quoting the general here. If we focus too much on security, services for tourists will be affected. But if we are lax about security, the country could become a hideout for transnational criminals. End of quote. It is necessary for the IB to collaborate and share information with Interpol and the immigration authorities of other countries to keep track of foreign criminal gangs, he went on to say. We want to assist, another quote, we want to assist good tourists who have purchasing power. Okay, I'm going to read that one again. Okay, this is a quote from the new IB commissioner, the chief, 3-star general, Sompong. Okay, listen closely, guys. Okay, because what he says gives you an insight as to the big picture that everybody's speculating about on this new enforcement. What we're talking about here today, financial requirements, right? You have to prove it. There's no more fraud. You're going to have to show it. Going to have to prove it. So listen to this first part, and then I'll finish the quote, but listen to this first part. We want to assist good tourists who have purchasing power. They bring income to the country. As for security arrangements, we focus on checking backgrounds of various people with Interpol and immigration authorities in other countries. All right, so that pretty much wraps that up. He went on to say a lot of other things, but as far as what we're talking about, that's what you need to know about this man. Okay, he's no dummy. Okay, you don't get to these positions by being a dummy. Okay, so he's not racist. I guarantee you, if you met this man, he would not treat you like he's bigoted against you for whatever country you come from. That is not what we're talking about. Don't buy into all the negative, hypertensive expat community gossip, right? Don't buy into it. It's those 30% that have never been able to sustain themselves according to the required law that are now getting caught and being deported, all right? So we go back to the survey, it said 30% are going to be subject to leaving Thailand. So how many expats would that be? Because I said thousands and thousands are exiting, yes? Well, there's a survey that was done in 2015, so this is 4 years old, but we're just going to go by these old numbers because we know they're going to be low and conservative, right? We know there's going to be more now than what there was 4 years ago in 2015. So, expats in Thailand, 2015 survey, 7 million. Now, these are expats from all over the world, right? Not just Westerners, but everywhere. India, you name it, right? China, everywhere. 7 million. So, 30% may be forced to leave because of the new requirements to actually show proof of your sustainable financial income. 30% of 7 million, guys, 2,100,000 expats. So we are talking about a mass exodus. From Thailand. I mean, if 2 million people have to go this year because they can't get over that hurdle now, when they go to renew their visa every year, they can't show that financial proof, they're out of here. Bye-bye, right? Well, like I said, I can empathize with anybody that was doing what they needed to do to extend their visa every year, and then all of a sudden we have these new enforcements, and what they were doing is not in compliance with the law, so now they can't do it anymore. I can empathize with them saying, but that's the way I always did it. Empathy, understanding, I got it, 100%. Sympathy, kind of hard for me to pass it out on that one, man. If I'm traveling the world and I decide I want to make a second home in someone else's country, I think I would do my research and make sure it was where I wanted to be and check their laws. And even though there's going to be changes, it's still the same income requirements that it has been for years. So they're basically complaining that, oh, now you're going to make me go by the law. Because these aren't new laws. It's just you have to prove that you have the sustainability. And health insurance is probably coming next. So anyway, peace, love to everyone. Teacher Thomas Thailand here. If you like my content, please subscribe and share. I try to stay positive about everything. I do love this country. If I didn't, I wouldn't be here. I mean, that's what I don't get about all the whiners and the negativity and Thailand are racist and trash talking everybody. Why are you here? Nobody is making you stay here. Are you here because you are desperate and you don't have any money and sometimes you do sleep in a little rat hole? And that's how you're getting by here? Well, I'm sorry. Your days are over. You're gone. Bye-bye. See you later. See everyone later. Remember, stay happy. Teacher Thomas Thailand, out.